It was a typical fall afternoon, but it wasn't just any day. It was Wednesday, and Wednesday was visitation day with my son. We hadn't seen each other in a week. I picked him up from school, got him a snack, and helped him start his homework at the dining room table. But he wasn't doing his work. His head was down, and he looked sad. I got down on his level, and I said, "Hey, buddy, what's wrong? It's okay. You can tell me anything." He looked up at me. I could see his little 7-year-old chin start to quiver. His eyes filled with tears. And then his whole face crumpled. He choked out the words, "Daddy, I know you don't have any money, and I know it's because of me." With that, he clutched onto me and he hugged me as tightly as he ever had. And he sobbed. I don't know where, how, or from whom he heard it, but it didn't matter. The damage was done. It didn't matter to me that divorce broke my heart, my wallet, and my spirit. What mattered to me was that at times it poisoned my son's mind, broke his heart, and crushed his spirit. Divorce is not necessarily wrong or bad. In fact, in some circumstances, it's quite appropriate. This talk isn't about whether someone should or should not get divorced. It's about how they get divorced and how they behave afterwards. When parents fight over custody and child support, the results can be catastrophic. But those costs aren't measured in dollars. They're measured in broken hearts. When the heart breaks, the spirit follows. When the spirit breaks, soon thereafter comes a broken life. School suspensions, gaming and screen addiction, eating disorders, drug and alcohol abuse, and physical self-harm. Each year, over 1 million American children experience the divorce of their parents. Roughly 1 out of every 2 will see their families break apart. Not all are conflicted and problematic, but all too often, children end up caught in the chaos of divorce-related conflict, and they suffer. It's time we start to refer to this issue as the epidemic that it is. It's time to change how we divorce in this country. It's time for a child-safe divorce. It's time we place love before law. It's time we mediate instead of litigate. And it's time we place clergy, counseling, and coaching before court. If parents are spending more on lawyers than they are on family counseling, they have it backwards. Again, if parents are spending more on lawyers than they are on family counseling, they have it backwards. Divorce is often a war. Each parent a disgruntled country, each lawyer the general of an opposing army. But unlike war in real life, the children don't have the United Nations or the Red Cross to come to their aid. There are no relief workers there with UN armbands to protect them when the fighting that happens in court spills over into their homes. In some divorce cases, judges order parents to attend diversion programs. But by that time, it's too late. The landmines have already exploded, causing irreparable collateral damage to those innocent bystanders. It's time to change how we divorce in this country. It's time for a child-safe divorce. What's that? It's an ethical pledge to place love before law and a commitment not to fight. And it doesn't start at the time of conflict or divorce. It starts at the beginning of a marriage, when both individuals take an oath and make a pledge in their wedding vows that should they have children, if ever they end up with unresolvable conflict, they will commit to seeking support from clergy, counselors, and coaches before court. This pledge is supported by a premarital mediation and arbitration agreement that names a neutral third party from the very start in order to help resolve conflict during the marriage. And it can help mediate a divorce in the event that the marriage fails. If put in place before the wedding, couples will have a higher chance of resolving their conflict. But if divorce becomes inevitable, they can establish a healthy co-parenting agreement, and they can mediate. Current prenuptial agreements are mostly about money and real estate, and they're drafted by financial advisors and attorneys. I've never seen one, not one, that included input from clergy or a therapist. The children have no voice. It's time that we include protection for them before they are even born. When two companies merge, the mergers and acquisitions firm has a mediation or arbitration clause built right into the agreement. Think about how many times in the past month you've downloaded an app and you immediately agreed to those terms and conditions. Well, when you check that little box, guess what? You agreed to mediate and arbitrate in the event of a dispute. And you did it so easily. Our children deserve the same consideration. I'm often asked by my clients, Stu, how do I place love before law when my spouse just refuses to mediate and they just won't go to therapy? The answer is simple. It's a 4-letter word. Stop. Just stop. Pause. Relax. Breathe. Detach. While the lawyers are doing their work, it's now time for you to do yours. Seek professional counseling for yourself and your children. Stop saying negative things about their other parent. And don't allow anyone else to do this either. Ever. No one. Model for your children how to be loving and respectful to one another, no matter what. Because kids are half of each of us. And when parents attack one another, the verbal attacks and those arrows pierce right through the hearts of the children in between. People don't understand the true costs of divorce. It's not how much someone spends on lawyers and how much they might lose when the real estate has to get sold off if the judge orders it sold. It's not even the opportunity costs that society incurs from stressed out parents showing up on the job emotionally exhausted. It's the costs incurred by the children. Once I realized the true costs of divorce on our son, I made it my mission to make amends to him for all the things he witnessed, heard, and experienced that caused him harm. Today, we enjoy an exceptionally close relationship. The gift is this, and it's evidence of what can happen when we place love before law, is that today, his mom and his stepfather and I all are on respectful terms with one another. It's sad that he had to be exposed to conflict for a portion of his life, and that he had to keep those thoughts and feelings inside. It's time for a child-safe divorce. It's time we place love before law. It's time we mediate instead of litigate. And it's time we place clergy, counseling, and coaching before court. Because kids don't belong in the crossfire. Thank you.